T. Martin of the City of Havre, and I would like to welcome you to the Cultural Center at the Opera House, where the 19th century meets 21st century state-of-the-art. We hope you enjoy Havre Grace's renovated 1870s historic theater, one of the many fine attractions in the area. Thank you for joining us today for this wonderful event. Restrooms are downstairs through the gallery and across the mezzanine in the fire hall. Concessions are also available next door in the fire hall. Food and drink are prohibited in the theater except for water bottles and Opera House lidded tumblers. There will be an intermission today. Please silence your cell phones and no recordings and or photos. We hope you will take time to review the Opera House program and encourage you to support those businesses which have placed ads. And don't forget, it's happening in Havre Grace. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, we have a short presentation. Councilman Jason Robertson.
Hello. My name is Jason Robertson. I'm a city councilman here in Havre Grace. And, well, before we get started, Sarahia, I understand that this is your debut.
Whoa.
So, on behalf of the mayor and the city council, I'd like to present you with this proclamation from the city of Havre Grace. And if y'all indulge me for like 5 minutes, I just want to read this, okay?
Wow.
So whereas Sarahia Benn has found her happiness in serving others. She is a member of the Bishop family in Havre Grace. She worships at St. James AME. And whereas Sarahia Benn graduated from the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston,
Wow.
Massachusetts. She taught music for 12 years at a private school in Moncton, Maryland. She gives of her time in many ways, such as DJing for the first Upper Chesapeake Pride event in Havre Grace. She provided fish dinners for ex-addicts, along with making breakfast, lunch, and dinner for organizations to give to ex-addicts, homeless, and low-income residents. And whereas Sarahia Benn serves as president of the Cecil College Student Diversity Board, she shows by her actions her compassion for the community by helping serve Thanksgiving dinners and toys for children at Christmas for Hartford and Cecil County, working alongside others on this mission. And whereas Sarahia Benn has a political podcast in Baltimore where she works to educate the community on political issues and events along with assisting candidates with her political candidacy. She served as minister of music at several churches and is known as, quote, a bass player. She works to bring about change in all of her volunteer work as a servant leader, bringing people together with a sense of purpose. She is known for her empathy and awe-inspiring way. She has left a great impression on everyone that she meets, and we will forever be grateful for her. Now, therefore, I, William T. Martin of the City of Havre Grace, along with the Havre Grace City Council members, wish to recognize and thank Sarahia Benn for her leadership role and being a champion of good works. Signed by the mayor and all the council.
Show and I'm crying already. All right, I'm gonna get myself together. Hold on. As they say. Are you guys
Ladies
ready?
and gentlemen, the Benn Experience.
All right. I'm gonna get these tears ready. I who had nothing. Oh, I who had nothing. But adore you and want you so. I'm just a nobody here with nothing to give you but love. I love definitely make sure everybody in my band is a star. And tonight we're going to do a lot of songs from the Minneapolis sound. Now, a lot of you are going to know some of the songs, but there's a lot of songs you don't know, like this song. This song is by the Valdons, and originally was done in Italian, and it was translated in English. And Benny King made a hit out of it in '63, but the Valdons out of Minneapolis made it a hit in the early '70s. Now, why is that important? Because these 80-plus-year-old quartet men are still touring to this day and still singing this beautiful song that was remade by so many other people. Thank you. You know, I try to sing a little bit. You know, I don't really sing though. But the next song is by a group called 94 East. And what you have to understand, in the early 70s, a lot of folk groups were getting together. And 94 East was Prince's brother-in-law's group, Peppy Willie. And he brought him in, and he brought his best friend, Andre Simone in. And why is that important? Because it was the beginning of what I call the Minneapolis sound dynasty, because they created so many hits in the 80s and everything. But it was also a guy named Colonel Abrams who did a song, Trap. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but, you know, that was you remember that song? Can you sing a little bit, that line of that? Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, I'm trapped. There you go. See, that's chemistry right there. So she's going to sing something later, you know, but I just wanted to give us a little tune on that. And then next song after that is going to be by Aura. And it's the Rocky and Ronnie Robbins brothers. And what makes this important song to me is because it sounds very much like any other group at the time that was really popular, like Earth, Wind, and Fire, or any of those really great funk bands. And the next song will be Cohesion. That is a pretty great song. And then Flight Time, which was the beginning of Terry Lewis and his great genius. And so we're going to feature Mr. Dom on sax and probably a few other people in between all of this. But let's go. guys, but that's all right. We're a new band. And when I say a new band, we're a new band. I just want to introduce some of my members right now. I'm going to start on my left. Thank you so much, Chemistry. This is Kim Glaudet, but her stage name is Chemistry, on vocals. I met her in political moves, but then you see, look what God did. He put on her stage with me, so I'm so blessed to have you here, Miss Kim. But I'm also blessed to have you as a friend. And friends for me is like family. Anybody knows that they're my family. All right, thank you, everybody. Whoever said it, I can't see you, but whoever said it, you're right. When you get me, you can't get rid of me. On keys is El Cap. I just gave him a nickname, El Cap. El Cap. He's like, how am I going to give him a nickname? His name is Eddie Saul. Eddie Saul. Trust me, he can play. That man can play. Now, on my backbeat, you got to understand, as a bass player, your drummer is the most important thing. I play with a lot of drummers, but this guy, Mark Adams Jr., is my man, my drummer. Thank you so much for being a blessing to me. He doesn't know, and you guys will never know, but I'm going to tell you, he knows. All right, on the sax now, I'm going to tell you something. You can look at this guy, right? Look at this tall. He's handsome, right? He's handsome. Yeah. Come on now. He's a tall drink of water. But when you look at him, you don't think he can play it, and look what he does. This is Dominic Ellis. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Now, I saved the last introduction for a lifelong friend. Okay? Rob Axe Adams Jr., not related to Mark. Now, that'll tell you it's a little weird to have two Adams. It's Adams family up in my band. But nevertheless, Rob and I went to college together. We were two 17-year-olds in Boston. Probably not know him better or whatever have you, but we've been lifelong friends, like most of us Berkeley people are to a certain extent. And it's been such a blessing to reconnect with him and be able to actually be on the stage with him. You see, I've been talking to him for many years. He's been doing his thing, I've been doing my thing. But to be blessed to have him on the stage with me, you guys just don't know what that means. And my name's Sarahia Benn. I'm not nobody special. I'm just somebody, who just does a whole lot of stuff and just tries to help people. But anyway, our next song, I got lost. That was Cohesion? Oh, boy. All right, so we're going to do, it's the things that you do, that's you do, yeah. That's what we're going to do, flight time. All right. every time I turn on, they go, man, look. This is not good. They're going to give me that proclamation to take it right back. You know how that goes. You know how they give it to you, they tell you right back. Now, these next two songs, we're going to get into some songs that you actually know. You know, we played a whole lot. See, we did the musician thing, right? We play for ourselves. Now we're going to play for you. All right? So these next two numbers are Prince songs. Now, just a little history about these Prince songs. Well, Prince, on his first album, he was really, he said, I'm going to do it by myself. And he got a lot of help from Patrice Rushen. Well, he got a crush on Patrice Rushen. I think Prince got a crush on every woman he worked with. Probably some other people, too. But truth be told, he got a crush on Patrice Rushen. Long story short, he wrote two songs for her. I Want to Be Your Lover and I Feel For You. We're going to remember that, I Feel For You, because we're going to talk about that in the second set. But long story short, that's one of the songs we're going to do. And that was a song they dedicated to her. And then the second song is on his third album. There's a single that went #1. It was called Uptown. Now, you got to understand, Prince was in an area in Minneapolis, which has still got issues, by the way. But he was in a city where they played funk, R&B music from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. all the way into the 80s. Think about that. There was no black music, no R&B, no soul. Even if you were white, they wouldn't play it on the radio anywhere in Minneapolis or Minnesota unless it was between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. It was like a sundown state. Think about that. All right? And so this is the background that Prince came up through. And he created a song called Uptown to talk about his area. And he said, people used to be racist to me, and so I get in all kinds of fights. He said, I might have been short. He said, but I knocked a whole lot of people out. And, I believe that he gave what he got. But this was his song, and it's going to feature my friend Rob, who is the spirit and me of Mr. Prince. Because one thing we did at Berkeley, what did we do? Prince. We love Prince. We had a love of Prince. And so we're going to get into it right now. You don't need to hear me talk all day. 1, 2, 3, 4. remember being that Funky Sunday, or was it Tuesday? What? See, I'm getting old. You know when I'm getting old. It was kind of Funky Tuesday. Our next door neighbor said it was good. But, y'all, yeah. Bring it low. Praise the Lord.
It's because of y'all make it funky.
That's
y'all
right.
give yourself a hand. Y'all make it
Yourself a
funky.
hand, please do. And you know, I can't really see you guys, but one thing I can see is that none of y'all dancing. And so we're going to have to see some of y'all dancing before this night's over at some point. Well, the next 3 songs that we're going to do, first thing is a little story behind the first song. Well, so Prince decided after he was, very successful in the mid-'80s that he wanted a record label because all the big stars had a record label. So he created Paisley Park. And his first artist in Paisley Park was Maserati. Now, Maserati was a band that Brown Mark, his Revolution bass player, created. Now, what people don't know about Brown Mark is that he co-wrote Kiss, and Prince kind of mooched him out of the money for that record. I'm gonna be honest with you. For years, they were like, at odds. I mean, they didn't talk at all. In fact, Brown Mark got such a distaste in his mouth, he quit the music industry. He's an amazing bass player, amazing musician, and he just said, I ain't gonna say it, my aunt's here, so I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna keep it PG or G. And so he said what you said. And he became a computer tech. But now he has like a YouTube, and he shows all his amazing genius, to be honest with you, that in what he learned from Prince, but what he also was as a person. So that's the first song. Next time when he got signed to Motown. No, wait a sec.
Motown.
That was Motown, right. And then the next song is going to be The Time. Now, everybody knows The Time. Right? But what people don't realize is that Morris Day really wasn't a singer. He really wasn't a singer. He was the drummer. He was the drummer. And he was a bad drummer, really. He wasn't really good. He stunk. But they couldn't, they dealt with it. We musicians, this is what we do. We'll deal with a bad musician because we got to do a show. We're like, man, this musician, man, they stink. But guess what? We got to do this show. So we'll ride with them. So once they got a really good drummer, Johnson, the other Johnson, not Jelly Bean, right? Because I get them all mixed up. Which one is it? Which one is
Jelly
it?
Bean is the drummer.
Jelly Bean's the drummer, okay. Jesse's the guitarist, I'm sorry, so I get them all mixed up. So once they got Jelly Bean, they like, okay, Morris, if you want to stay in this group, you got to find a space. And so he found a space in front of the group. And, history tells it all. And then the third song is actually produced by Jesse Johnson, who was the guitarist in the time. And you're going to notice that, man, this thing, he ripped off his own song, basically. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this medley. So we've come to the last set of numbers in our set today. You'll have a brief intermission so we can rest, so I can get some water and get this basic tune. I don't know what, for some reason it keeps on taking my bass out of tune, but that's okay. I'm just going to tune in real time. So anyway, I was talking about Brown Mark. And Brown Mark, he wrote he wrote a biography, or autobiography, about in 2020, and he let all the secrets out, by the way, about how many millions that my boy Prince, I love Prince, hey, God rest his soul, but he shouldn't have ripped them off. But then again, a lot of musicians at that time, when they worked with the musicians, they did what he did. But, he let the cat out of the bag. So we're going to do that song, Mark, next time, with his mom on that video. And then we're going to go into Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Now, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, people don't understand about what Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis mean to me. When I lived in California, I used to live in LA. And I used to go to a lot of industry things. I was broke, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I used to act like I wasn't broke. Okay? And so I would show up at these industry events, right? And one of the industry events was them talking about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis being honored for writing songs for, I think at that time, it was not even a decade. And they had already had a great pile of songs, so it was actually ASCAP. It was ASCAP Awards. And so I'm sitting in this all these people that, I admire, whatever, what have you. And someone comes like, what song did you work on, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis? I ain't gonna lie, I lied. I did. I ain't gonna lie, I lied. I did. I said to him I worked with him on Janet Jackson. I did. I ain't gonna lie. Because I wanted, because you're young. And you want to feel important, you want to fit in, whatever would happen. But it was an honor to really be in that room with them and everything, and really enjoy that. So we're going to do Janet's song, which was a really big hit, What Have You Done For Me Lately? some refreshments. We'll be back. Well, so far, I'm doing good. I'm a little tired already. I'm ready to give up. What is this? I can't hear myself sleep. No, I'm not. She's saying good. That's why I was letting you through. That's why I didn't want her to cut you off. It was like, where you going? Go. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that. What we'll do with the next one. Same mornings. Yeah, but you know what? I'm trying to. I gotta get him. Because I've been running so much the last couple of days. Because I know this thing. It's not exact. What time is it? Oh, shoot. See, I told you. So, yeah, so we're going to be and so what I'll do is probably be back to but actually I have to start. So there's been such things. It's not
We will come in on the line. Okay, so but you don't have to track that. You just come in with Are you gonna come in with the
Mark, do you have Mark, do you have the sample of what you're saying?
But it brings all over the
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just come in on the one. It plays the.
Oh, it's gonna play that.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Okay.
And if you had just like that little sample,
It's just like
snare coming. Yeah. Wow. Oh, so you got that whole thing set. Okay. You solo and could you still hear your track while you were? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's all right. That song's at a fast tempo. Trying not to outrun myself. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I know, everybody's
It's not loud? Which of the vocals? You can hear me in your monitor? You're low in my monitor. You're the only one.
So, alright.
I was trying to give you some background on the Uptown. I don't know if you heard me or not.
Good, now it's like,
That's a hard song to kind of piece up in that. Come to play that and then sing it.
Yeah, quick tracks, some samples. Yeah. I can't. We would get kicked off the drums in my experience, so it's just that makes sure.
I think when everything's loud, when everything's playing, it's kind of hard to hear.
When I was younger, I grew up watching my cousin play ball. Whenever I would start doing too much, he would literally take drum pieces away from the drum set until I was just left with the kick. Yeah. So it had to be in the pocket, make sure you come back on one, and we drove that constantly. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's definitely working. Yeah.
I'm just recording. They low.
Okay.
But you can.
Okay. Well then,
but not that good.
Okay. Well then, I might have to turn up the volume.
Yeah, I think Cena told him because I told Cena. I know.
I can't hear him in the. That's the reason why I'm not really saying that because I can't hear him in my monitor.
I know.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to play too loud, so I
Nah, you go ahead.
But the thing is that you're not loud.
Yeah,
you're not.
You're soft in general.
You're probably
Yeah.
pretty soft. You need to kind of play loud.
Okay.
Yeah, you really do need to play loud. But I don't think we're playing too loud. I just think the vocals are too
That's
soft.
true.
Somebody
I
just
agree.
tell me to turn them off.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, George. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little tired right now, but I'm doing okay. I can't.
You're doing swell.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is our first show. Hey, see. Hey, Carl. Hey, Carl. I can see you guys. Oh, well, I ain't gonna see you too long. Hey, cousin Reggie, cousin. Hey, all my cousins. All right there. Hey, Miss D. Yeah, because when the lights are down, I can't see nothing. Which is kind of good. It means I don't have to worry about being intimidated. Yeah, I'm about to do it. I'm just wasting Sound man, do me a favor, because you turn all the vocals up more. I know we're a folk band. We're not really loud, but you know we're a little loud, probably than a jazz band. And so we need to kind of hear more vocals in the monitors and more out there. We've been told that, and truth be told, I can't hear myself. And play the sax, please. Okay. Can you guys actually hear him very well? Okay, as long as you can hear him very well. Okay, yeah, he's playing, isn't he? He playing? All right. I can find somebody, right? That's right. Y'all didn't know I had another one. I ain't even going to talk about Fillmore Slim. That's some other stuff. But yeah, I had another person I could find. You see what I'm saying? I found Dom. He's a really good guy and everything. Let me put my bass on. Our first song, he has a sample sound man, so you have to turn on his sound, please. So I'm not going to keep you here all night, even though this second set, I ain't going to lie to you, is a little longer than the first set. But not so long. Not so long. I ain't going to keep you here all night. But I'm going to start off with a couple instrumentals. Prince had a sax player called Eric Leeds, right? Am I correct? Yes. Eric Leeds. And Eric Leeds, well, he played with them actually all the way up almost to his death. And so he decided to create this project called Madhouse. And they didn't really want to name any of the songs, so they named the songs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was the first album. Second album was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And the hit singles were 6, 10, and 13. And so we're going to play 13 and everything. And it was just like a mix of funk, a little bit of jazz, and just, it just was all of what Eric Leeds and Prince could give to you. And then we're going to go into a famous song that Prince did with Sheila E., because Sheila E. became a part, once the revolution broke up, they became the New Power generation. And so Sheila E. became a part of that New Power generation, so they did this song, Boys and Girls. We're going to start off with that. Ready?
You throw that brains all over your nice side blade suit.
So the next song is one of my favorite songs. Rosie Gaines was a singer in the New Power generation, and unfortunately she ended up getting sick with diabetes. And the thing about it is that in America, when you get sick, sometimes there is no help. You get to be top of the world, and you can be touring one day in front of 80,000 people, and then you get sick in this country, and nobody got you back. And so this woman, who was a part of this great song and part of that great group with Prince, she got really sick. I think it was in 2011. And she's still living, but the thing is that she ended up homeless and all kinds of things, because sometimes when you get sick, you know, it messes with your mentality. So I dedicate this to her, because Rosie Gaines was one heck of a singer, one heck of a keyboard player, one heck of a musician. You just don't understand how hard it is, and how hard it is for us musicians. You realize during the pandemic, most of us didn't even get any money. You know, everything was shut down. And so I just dedicated to her. Thank you. I could never take the place in your man. can rock, we can roll too. We do a little bit of everything. So these next few songs are some songs that were from different groups. The Jets, they were from Tonga, but they live in Minneapolis. Because it's one of those places that even now, I think, even with Ilhan Omar, there's a whole Somalian community in Minnesota. And I think there wasn't a guy who did the song connected to a Prince.
David Z.
Yeah, David Z.
He did
and
the arrangement for Kiss.
Yeah, so, the thing is that was the connection. And then the other next song is like Prince, who still lives. Now, Prince he still lives through music, clearly. But he also lives through his best friend, Andre Simone. And if you guys don't know who Andre Simone is, you need to go back and listen to him and go look at his live footage, because it's like seeing Prince still living and walking and breathing on this earth. And then we're going to go into someone, well, I ain't going to even tell you. No, go find out.
We're all one human family. We ain't got no enemies. Love you,
guitar so I can switch to acoustic. Guitarist. I started when I was 4, and I really wasn't that good. I probably still ain't that great right now because I'm a little rusty as a bucket, to be honest with you. I'm tired as you know what up here. But I started as a guitarist, and then I ended up being a sax player. But as I was at Berkeley, near the end, I started getting headaches, and so I was playing this gig, and it was this Latin. But it was a Latin jazz group, and I was playing percussion in it. Long story short, I ended up being a bass player. And that's how I ended up getting on the bass. But now we're going to get to a story about the Minneapolis sound. These next couple songs, well, I'm going to say the first song is a Prince song that, you remember I said about Shaka? Let me see, I had to remember what I was doing. I gotta do all this, as they say, I gotta try to do this. This is tightening instead of loosening. That'll work. Long story short, so Prince was really a big admirer of Shaka Khan. And Shaka Khan really didn't want to do that Feel For You song that he originally wrote for Patrice Rushen, because she was doing jazz and jazz-like music. And so she did that foray and really didn't make any money. And so finally she came back to this I Feel For You song. And long story short, that became one of her biggest hits. But we ain't going to do that song tonight. We're going to do a song that he ripped off from one of her older songs when she was with Rufus. It was originally Sweet Thing, but this song is The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. And just bear with me so I can get myself adjusted so I'm like, Marie, sorry, but I'm having some technicalities here. So you ready, Mr. Rob? I'm going to play a little, but you're going to play a lot, okay? Are you going to sing the first verse, or you want me to sing the first one? Oh, you know what? I'm singing the whole verse on this one. Sometimes it's April. Okay. All right. I'm getting myself together. So play. Do me a favor. Play Sweet Thing so they can know what we're talking about. This song, what he did is, that was like every two measures, all he did was just lengthen it out. So I'm going to try to do this. Could you be? Could you put it in key, that original key, just B? I think it's F. F sharp. Could you be First chord. I can't really sing. Looking at it again, I can do it.
You doing this?
So the next song we're gonna do is Sometimes It Snows in April, and it's just a great song. I ain't even gonna say much about it. It's just a great song, and I think it was on the Under Cherry Moon. Yeah, right. It's Parade record. That's right. And the thing is that it just I don't know the lyrics. It's about basically it's about loss. And hoping that we will see who we've lost one day again. And do you do this in the key, the original key? Okay, because I just didn't want to play the class we did it. That's why I just let you do it. So,
Do it. Thank you so much.
You know what? Since I'm not doing it, I'm just gonna play it. I'll let you play. No, and you're gonna take the first verse, not take the third.
Eddie, got me?
Yeah, Ed, you can come in. We're unplugged. We're unleashed. And this is truth be told, this is our first show. And you gotta understand when you have a first show, you do what you do. And as we do more shows, we're gonna get better and better. I think we're pretty good tonight. What do you think?
Yeah!
You know, believe it or not, just like a month ago, I wasn't doing this. And so it took literally less than a month to pull this all together. To pull musicians together, you know. So it takes a lot.
life ain't no way away. Sometimes it snows in Havre. Sometimes I feel too red, so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending. And all good things they say never last. Beautiful rises.
I'm often dream of heaven. Now I know that trace is there. I know that he has found another friend. Maybe he's found the answer to all the endless snow. Maybe one day I'll see my Tracy again. Sometimes it snows in Havre. Sometimes I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending. And all good things they say never last. Repeat it, please, for me. All good things. And all good things they say never last. And love, and love, and love, and love. And love is not love till it's past. So this next group, and I'm sorry, man, I shouldn't be cutting off applause, right? It's hard to get applause, but you know I don't want to keep you here too long because we got a few more songs. But this next group is a group that call themselves the definition of a band. You know when you call yourself the definition of a band, you must be some bad. You know what I'm talking about. Such a bad mother. What's your mouth? And they were highly influenced by Prince. I'm going to play this one because I need to accompany myself, otherwise, you guys. I mean, you can play with me, but I'm going to do myself. This song is called Pretty Brown Eyes, and I hope you guys sing with me a little bit. You can play, you know. Pretty brown eyes, you know I see it. It's a disguise, the way you treat me, When you keep holding on to your thoughts of rejection. If you win me, you're so long. Keep seeing you, your time is always taken. But I keep seeing you out all alone. breaking my heart. I'm going to nobody's going with me, I guess I'm going by myself. Come on with me, Tom. Come on, John, with me. Come on, John. I said, I said, And so that song, I'm gonna switch back on my, bass. That's where I'm more comfortable. I ain't gonna lie. So we're going to end tonight. Now we not doing that, or we can skip it. Okay, we're gonna skip that song.
You do whatever you want to.
No, I don't want to do that because we still got a lot more songs. So the next song we're going to do. Give me a second. I'm very prepared. But I got too much paper here. That's it. Let me switch my guitar. I believe this song is Stand Back. Oh, I got a great story for that. All right. So there's an artist named Stevie Nicks. Y'all ever heard of her? Yeah. She's pretty good, huh? I love her. And I know a lot of people are like, you like jazz? Like Stevie Nicks, that'd be the oddest thing. But you would love her. Well, one day, she was riding down the street with her new husband, and she heard, "Little Red Corvette." And guess what she started doing? She started writing a poem. And the poem was this song. And so she, after she wrote it, she was like, she reached out to Prince, and she said, I want you to, you pretty much wrote the song, because I stole, basically, I hijacked your song. Will you come in and make the track? So she said he came in 1 hour and made this song. And it became a #1 hit. All right, you ready? What is it?
As I walk by, just a little
MC. Because I haven't really introduced my band. And these are great people. Well, I kind of did, but I need to introduce them again. I'm going to introduce the lovely Chemistry, on vocal, El Cap, that's my nickname, he got to stick with. And Mark Bam Bam Adams Jr., Don on the sax, and Robert Adams on guitar. My name is Sarahia Benn. We are Benn Experience, so I hope you're enjoying your show. This next song, this group was from Detroit. You say, well, wait a second, this is the Minneapolis sound. Well, they stole a little red Corvette too. They stole the whole drum pad and the whole groove to a certain extent. And didn't they actually try to meet Prince, and he basically gave him the gas face, didn't he?
Yeah, they tried to get people backstage. He wouldn't see him.
He wouldn't even see him.
Because
He was a prima donna.
Because this song, when you hear this song, you might say, "Taxi! Taxi!"
Lady,
Some people know what I'm talking about.
right, yeah, that's right. And so we're going to do this song, and then we're going to go into Sheila E's signature song. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And my boy Don going to get it. And so I want to hear it. And I want to hear if you hear it. Okay? You better give him a hand when he gets going. All right, let's go. act like you can, right? Yeah, it's a secret weapon. Thank you so much. She's a blessing. So we only have a few more numbers, and when I say few, like literally a couple more. And so I thank you so much for taking your time out on a Labor Day weekend, because I know most people have other things to do than to come and see Sarahia Benn perform, but I do appreciate it. You just don't understand. It fills my heart to see everybody out here on my first performance. Like, I actually, just let me say this. I performed like in the last few months, but I haven't really performed on a stage like this. And what people don't understand, performing on a stage like this is way different than being in a restaurant or bar. The sound is different. The energy is different. You have to prepare differently, and you have to set up things differently. And I miss it. I'll be honest with you. For the last few years, it's been a very unhappy bunch of years for me. Not because I wasn't doing what I didn't want to do. It's just that I wanted to get more back into music. And it takes a lot to be able to do it. So I think all things work out for the way that they need to work out. I'm still going to help my community, but just in a different way, you know? And so the next song we're going to do is a couple songs off the Prince's Purple Rain album. I'm going to do my version because I can't sing like Prince. I just try to do my little imitation or whatever. And then Rob's going to do...
Can't nobody do it like Prince.
That's right. I ain't even trying to do... that's why I say it's the Benn experience, not the Prince Rogers Nelson experience. And so I'm going to do my thing and pray for me on this song. Because I don't know if I remember the lyrics. But in any case, we're going to try it. So...
So it's about 6 years ago, April 21st, we all got some news that we were not expecting to get at this time. You know, there's a few people who are like superheroes and say, "You can't die."
That's right. You can't die. Not him. Yeah.
It's like my big brother I never met. And it wasn't until this movie that I was like, oh, I need to get serious about playing this thing, because
That's right.
it's not a game.
It's not a game.
Because he ain't
play.
faking.
He wasn't faking.
It's for real.
That's right.
So, and because of this guy, practice, and I got to go to Berkeley, and I got to meet this incredible human being.
Thank you.
And
You're incredible too.
we're all incredible.
Yes.
And we get to be here as part of his family. And we are one human family. And we get to share this moment together.
Yes.
So, I'm going to sing this song for y'all. I'm going to sing for my hero. Can nobody be him? But I'm going to do it as me for him.
That's right.
For you. Let me call you with your sorrow.
house on keyboards. Mr. Mark Adams Bam Bam Jr. on drums. Mr. Dominic Ellis on sax.